The following is a presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of college championships, past, present, and future. And hi there, good afternoon. I'm Ron Juckett. Welcome back to College Basketball Saturday. I think we got a decent one for you from Cincinnati Gardens. In a few minutes, we'll have the game from our 1960s bracket between the St. Bonaventure Bonnies, featuring center Bob Lanier, and the 1960s Cincinnati Bearcats featuring Oscar Robertson. It really does make a difference when one player can dominate both teams, and both did. Lanier took the Bonnies to the Final Four in 1970, and Oscar Robertson's one of those rare players who won both an NCAA championship and an Olympic gold medal before having an NBA title. Wasn't with Cincinnati, but one of those rare players who transcended all levels of the game. The one thing that you'll notice with Oscar Robertson is he's not a point guard for Cincinnati. He is a small forward. And so a note about next week, should be with you every week now through the NCAA Final Four, featuring either one or two games. Next week is a doubleheader day here on Retro Sports Network at noon. It's the debut of Magic Johnson in his Michigan State, I almost said Wolverines, Michigan State Spartans, as the 70s Michigan State travels to Pauley Pavilion to play the 70s UCLA team led by Bill Walton. And then about 45 minutes after the conclusion of Game 1, probably about 2:15, maybe 2:30, an 80s classic for the ages, Duke and North Carolina. So a doubleheader for you next week on College Basketball Saturday. And listen, if you like college basketball and would like to get your name out there as a potential sponsor, shoot me a note. I'm on Twitter at Ron Juckett or sgsvtbub@gmail.com. Love to have you on board if you're interested in this package of games, so of all-time college basketball. So for now, it is the Bonnies and the Bearcats from Cincinnati Gardens, right here on Retro Sports Network. And let me get my screens in order for you. So we got a good one, as I said today. The Bearcats are heavy favorites. Let's meet the Bonnies, shall we? At point guard, it's Ronald Martin, no relation to me, from his 60-61 season. 12 points a game, good 6.4 assists and 6.1 rebounds. The Bonnies, by the way, are 1-0 on the year. At shooting guard, Sam Stith from the 59-60 season. He was we're going back a ways here. Scored 21 in their win in the opener, averaging 7.2 rebounds and 3 assists a game, along with 20.5 points. At the small forward, Tom Stith. I guess they were brothers. 50% shooter from the field and scored 31.5 a game. My goodness. Miles Aiken, who played in 61-62, that's the season there, got the start in the real game, averaging 23 points a night and 680 minutes. That's very good, along with 11.1 boards and nearly 2 assists. And the reason why we're here, a sophomore from the Bonnies from the 67-68 season, number 16, Bob Lanier. Lanier, 26.2 points a game and 15.6 rebounds. He had 25 in their opener in their win against Duke. Now let's meet Cincinnati. As I said, Ralph Davis is the point guard. This is from 59-60, their national championship year, 13 points a game and almost 5 assists. They won their opener against, Bra. Thank you for that important interruption, OneDrive. After the other guard, it's Roland West from the 65-66 season. He'll average 15.5 points a game, 9.4 rebounds, and 3 assists. And the big man, Oscar Robertson, a senior in 59-60. He would go on to play for the Cincinnati Royals in the NBA and then win his title with the Milwaukee Bucks and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the 1970 season. I believe, it was later than that. Anyway, but he won one there, averaging a whopping 33.7. That's pretty good in a 40-minute game, along with 14 rebounds and 7 assists. George Wilson, a junior in 62-63, 15 points a game, 11 rebounds. And finally, Paul Hogue from the 61-62 season, averaging 16.8 and 12.4 rebounds at center. So everyone's ready. It's going to tell you the starting lineups again anyway. The coaches, Larry Wise for the Bonnies. And Ed Jucker, no relation, for the Bearcats. Hogan, Lanier jump. Lanier wins it for the Bonnies. They'll have it. They're going to go right to left here. They're in their burgundy and white. And Stith has the ball. Outside, he's going to drive it to the hoop. Foul line extended right. Moves baseline towards the basket, cut off by Wilson. And he's knocked to the floor and in. And he's fouled to start the game. So an old-fashioned 3. And the Bonnies are up by 2. Cincinnati favored by the computer by 2 points. Stith, the 70% free throw shooter. 10 seconds into it. Dips the knees, it's good. So 3-0 Bonnies right from the get-go. And now the Bearcats in red and white will work it with some black trim. They're working it from left to right. Hogue inside is the play. Davis over to Hogue, to West, to Hogue outside. They pass it around. Hogue down low, goes for the dunk. No, Lanier got a piece of it, and the Bonnies have it. Here comes Lanier the other way. Martin, pick and roll with Lanier inside. 10-footer jumper, yes. 5-0 St. Bonaventure right off the bat. They're going to give it to Oscar on a 3. Way outside. NBA size. And good! A rare 63-pointer. Robertson had the shooting touch around the rim, and it goes through. And Cincinnati's on the board, 5-3. The Bonnies lead. Again, they're going to work it inside to Lanier. That's going to be the plan most of the day. Post up. Whistle dead, and Hogue makes a foul. And so that's 2 on Cincinnati, but the first on Hogue. And so with 18:40 to go, Aiken is going to inbound it by the Bonnies bench. And let's see what gets cooked up here. And it will be, they're going to pass it around. 29 on the shot clock. Stith has it. Tom Stith. Again, he's going to drive from the foul line, extended left. Oscar Robertson's hurt, and he's leaving the game. So that's bad news for Cincinnati as Thacker. Tom Thacker comes in, and I don't care, if you're the Easter Bunny, if you're filling in for Santa Claus or the Tooth Fairy, and Oscar Robertson qualifies as that, you're just, small potatoes. Thacker, by the way, 7 minutes in their opening day win. He averages 15.8 a game. So we'll see how that interferes with things. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Aiken again inbounding in front of his own bench. And this time they'll work it inside of Lanier again. Lanier over Hogue. Jumper, yes. 7-3 Bonnies. We're going to go West outside for Cincinnati. Thacker to West. Stith tips it away and steals it. The Bonnies on the break. Stith and Aiken and Stith. Stith over to Lanier, and Lanier throws it away. So Cincinnati catches a break. 17:52 first half. Fast start for the Bonnies. It's 7-3. And so they're going to go with West outside again. Cincinnati, he's on the left wing. Screen and roll. Stith falls down. West drives to the basket and lays it up and in. 7-5. We got ourselves a 2-point game. Play is inside to Aiken, the power forward. Stith into his brother, over to Martin. Aiken inside up against Wilson. Yes, it's the jumper. 9-5 St. Bonaventure. Cincy's going to work it inside to Hogue. Davis down to Hogue down low. 8-footer, yes. Easy jumper. Davis, the point guard. He already has 2 assists. Just played pitch and catch with Hogue, and Hogue just shot the open jumper. 9-7 now. And it's going to be Sam Stith with a 3-pointer outside. He's pressured, and he's got to call timeout. So good job by the Bearcats. 9-7, 16-22 first half. And so Aiken inbounds it. And it's going to be Tom Stith outside. Martin to Aiken, working the baseline over to Stith. Jumper, yes, he's got it, and he's got 5. 11-7 St. Bonaventure. Cincinnati will work it inside to Wilson. Davis into Wilson in the lane. Jumper, no, but he gets the rebound. Tip back from Wilson is up and no. Lanier got a finger on it. That's his second block. He's got a rebound. Stith and Aiken on the break for the Bonnies. Miles Aiken to Stith, and Thacker steals it the other way. Cincinnati in transition. It's Weston Thacker. Thacker takes it all the way and lays it in. My apologies to the Easter Bunny for insulting him. 11-9, 15:43 first half. Lanier inside is the call, and Roland West is injured. He's the shooting guard for Cincinnati. And so Yates, Tony Yates, who's a junior in 61-62, he averages 8 points, 4.3 assists, and 3 rebounds. He got 6 minutes in their opener. So Aiken again in front of the Bonnies bench. 15:43. First half. 11-9 St. Bonaventure. And so Roland Martin is going to call his own number outside. Cincy and a man-to-man pick and roll with Aiken. Martin drives himself, goes glass and in. So they collapsed on Aiken, and Martin took advantage and just kind of drove in from the foul line. 13-9 St. Bonaventure. And the Bearcats will pass it around. Now Hogue, he's outside, and again, they don't like their chances. Keep passing around. Now 14 on the shot clock. Here's Wilson. He's in the paint. He drives inside. Defended by Aiken. Will roller? No. And Lanier comes out with a second board of the game. The Bonnies will walk it up the court. Aiken, the power forward inside from Stith. He rises over Wilson, but he's fouled by Wilson, and that's Wilson's second. So Aiken will shoot a pair. 14:30 first half. 13-9 St. Bonaventure. Aiken is 61% free throw shooter. Dips from the knees and misses the first. And the Bearcats are going to have to make a sub. George Wilson has 2 fouls. And so Bob Wiesenhahn will come in. Wiesenhahn, a senior in 60-61, so he was on that national championship team. And if I'm wrong, someone please tell me. I know you will. 17 points a night and averaged 10 rebounds. And their opener, he got 9 minutes in and scored 3 points. So already, Cincinnati has 3 people on the bench. Wilson in foul trouble, West with an injury, and Robertson. And if they're going to win, they need him. So Aiken missed the first. Second one is up and out. He missed them both. Wiesenhausen gets the rebound, and the Bearcats will walk it up. And the play is for Wiesenhausen. 14.5 to go. Davis inside to Wiesenhausen, and it's knocked out of bounds by the Bonnies. And so 14:03. That took a long time. The shot clock, which is 45 seconds in this conglomerate replay, because there's just too many decades involved under the unified rules. 18 seconds left on it. No changes for the Bonnies. And no changes for Cincinnati. Thacker inbounds it right in front of me. Again, Wiesenhahn is going to be inside. He lays it up off the glass. No! Rebounds one of the Stiths. Oscar Robertson comes back to the bench, I see. 4-on-4 transition for St. Bonaventure. Martin to Stith. He drives. He lays it up, and it's good. So Tom Stith, and he's fouled hard by Thacker. Thacker kind of got a hand in there and tried to drag him down. They're lucky that wasn't a flagrant. 15-9 St. Bonaventure. But the good news for Cincinnati is here comes Oscar Robertson. So Tom Thacker goes back to the bench, and Tom Stith, S-T-I-T-H, now gets a shot at the three-point play. Has 70% free throw shooter. And the dips his knees, and it's good. So he has 8, and it's 16-9 St. Bonaventure early on. 13:47. Roland Davis walks it across. Oh, first we're going to get a timeout. 13:47 to go. Retro Sports Network College Basketball Saturday is back on the air. At the first TV timeout, 13:47 left first half. It's the Bonnies 16, the Bearcats 9. If you're watching, say hi in the chat. You are as an important part of this as everything else. A promotional fee was paid by Retro Sports Network, specifically Mrs. Retro Sports Network, to Dunkin' Donuts. Coffee. Today's coffee and medium hot with French vanilla cream and Splenda. Bliss. All right. Bearcats to inbound. Wiesenhausen is right by me. 13:47 first half. Wiesenhausen inbounds it, and he couldn't see. He did the right thing. There wasn't anyone out there to inbound it to, and so he just shot it off Aiken's sneaker, and they get a fresh 5 seconds. So 13:46, 1 second ticked off the clock. Wiesenhausen, again, right by me, will inbound it, and this time he does, and this time they're going to go outside to Oscar Robertson, guarded by Tom Stith. Robertson in the corner. He drives it off the glass and in. So he just went by Stith as if he was a stick figure, and Robertson has 5 points, 16-11. The Bonnies. Aiken inside is the call, and Yates knocks it loose. They set up the half court. They're going to give it to Robertson outside. Davis dribbles it in to Robertson. Jumper from 15, no. But Stith commits the foul, and Robertson, that's Sam Stith, and Robertson will shoot the pair. So a 16-11 with Robertson going to the line for 2. A 75.6% free throw shooter. He already has 5 points, make it 6. He hits the first. 16-12. First half, St. Bonaventure. Robertson dipsy-doos and hits the second. So it's now a 3-point game. 16-13. And St. Bonaventure assesses everything. Dump it into Lanier is the call. Martin brings it up over to Stith. Lanier, ball is kicked. It's still St. Bonaventure's ball. Why do I want to say St. John's? It's the Bonnies. So 12-23. Shot clock down to 24. And the ball is with Stith. And he's going to take the jumper outside himself. Foul line extended right over to Aiken. No. Well, he was supposed to take the shot. He tried to find Aiken inside, and that's a turnover. So the Bonnies have turned it over 4 times, and the Bearcats just once. 12-17 first half. Oscar wants a 3 from behind the NBA line, and he nails it. Oh my goodness, that was nothing but net, and we are tied at 16, and so whatever advantage the Bonnies had is now gone. The Bonnies haven't missed a shot from the field yet. They're 7 of 7. This time they're going to Sam Smith. On the right wing from 15, no. Lanier gets the rebound. The tap in from Lanier. Little jumper, yes. 18-16 Bonnies. That's 6 for Bob, and he's got 3 rebounds to go with it. Cincinnati passes it around. Wiesenhausen inside. Going to move on. Aiken tries to get him around. Unloads. Yes, he's got 2. 18-18. All tied up. 11-21 first half. Again, Lanier inside. Martin over to one of the Stits. And Lanier, point-blank range in the low post. Yeah, he's just not going to miss those. 20-18 Bonnies. This time, Yates outside for Cincinnati on the perimeter. He drives, lays it up. Yes. Came in foul line, extended left, found the opening on the paint, and just laid it up and in. Bonnies have 14 points in the paint, Cincinnati 10, and we're knotted up at 20. We're going to go Stith, the guard outside again. Martin over to Stith, drives, lays it up, right wing, yes. He's on the board, and St. Bonaventure has everyone on the score sheet. 22-20. Cincinnati passes it around. Robertson, right wing. Going to drive through the middle. He drives, he lays it up. He's good. He wanted to draw the foul and couldn't. 22-22. Halfway home here in the first half. Again, Stith, the guard outside. Picks and rolls with his brother, and he draws the offensive foul, and that's his second. We got a timeout on the floor. 9:41 first half. St. John's, I'm running. St. Bonaventure 22, Cincinnati 22. So starting 5 come off the floor for the Bonnies, and Sam is probably done for the half. He's got 2 fouls. So John Mahanchik, Fred Crawford, Bill Butler, George Carter, and Bob McCulley on the floor for the Bonnies. For the Bearcats, Dean Foster is in for Davis, and Rick Robertson is in for Hogue. Everyone else is okay, and West is still hurt. So Wiesenhausen will mount it for Cincinnati. We'll tell you that Rick Robertson played, this is from a 68-69 year, 16.1 points and 12.6 rebounds a game. He got 4 minutes in their other win. Dean Foster from 65-66, 5 assists, almost 8 points. Perfect on the bench. Oscar Robertson outside is the call. He's in the corner, 18-footer, yes, and he's hit 5 straight. Robertson, despite missing most of this half with an injury, has 14 in 6 minutes. McCulley inside is the call as the Bonnies bench works there. He looks from the low post, hits the jumper and good. 24-24. John Mahanchek played in the 63-64 season. He averages almost 15 a night with 4.2 assists. Fred Crawford, it's an easier way to do it, 22 points a night from his 60-61 season with 10 rebounds. That's excellent from a small guard, small forward. Bill Butler, a senior, 67-68, 54% shooter, 23 points a night with 9.2 assists. That's excellent. George Carter, 20 points and 14 rebounds. This Bonnies team could play. He had 2 points and 3 rebounds in their win over Duke in 5 minutes. And Bob McCulley, who just made the basket from 62-63, a 16-point a night, 10 rebound a game. He had an assist and 3 minutes in their win over Duke. Oscar Robertson wants it outside again. 9 minutes to go in the first half, and he walked with it. Roland West is ready, and the Bearcats will bring him in. So another starter there for Cincinnati back on the floor. No changes anyplace else. And so 24-24, 8:47 first half. Bonnie's ball. Then Crawford wants the inside shot. He's inside against Wiesenhausen. Jump fake, yes. Faked him out, switched hands, hit the jumper, 26-24. 8 minutes to go and change here in the first half. Cincinnati will play with it. You don't want Robertson to get 80,000 points. Robertson has it inside, works inside the paint. Little jumper, you betcha. 26-26. The Bearcats have led by 2. The Bonnies at 1 point led by 7. McCulley inside is the call. In the paint. Robertson and McCulley. McCulley jumps over Robertson. Swish. 28-26. Under 8 to go. Now, they're going to work it to Robertson. Foul line extended left. He drives. He over McCulley. No. But Connor found him. And Robertson will go the line for 2. 28-26 Bonnies. Robertson now with 14 points. And the first freebie from Oscar is good. He now has 15. Cincinnati has not missed a free throw. They are 3 for 3. The Bonnies are 13 of 14 from the floor. Cincinnati 11 for 16, and Robertson has hit both three-pointers. If you like offense, this is your game. Robertson bends the knees, hits, and misses the second. How about that? So Mahanchek, after the Crawford rebound, will call his own number outside. From the top of the circle to McCulley, back over to Mahanchek. They pass it around. Mahanchek drives over Wiesenhausen and drains it. So he faked it from the foul line, then worked it inside over the power forward, and it's 30-27 St. Bonaventure. And the Bearcats slow it down. Wiesenhausen inside. Carter guarding him. Wiesenhausen backs in. Little jumper, yes. Give Roland West his first assist, and it's 30-29. 6:53 to go. Butler wants to take a 3. Mahanchek to Crawford to Carter. Over to Butler. They keep passing it back and forth. Deep in the corner. No. Carter rebound. The power forward. Little jumper from 2 feet. You got it. 32-29. 6.5 to go. Cincinnati passes it. Nope. Robertson to West. Jumper, no. And in. But Robertson, the center, is caught with basket interference. 6:22 to go. Starting 5 in for Cincinnati. Davis, West, Robertson. Oh, Wilson's not coming back in. Not with 2 fouls in 7 minutes. Wiesenhausen stays in. And for the Bonnies, starting 5 except for Crawford because Sam Stith has 2 fouls. So Crawford has the basketball. 30 seconds on the shot clock. And he's going to drive. He's going to try a foul line extended right. He drives in. He falls down on the floor, and Robertson hacked him. So it's a non-shooting foul, and Aiken will unbound by the Bonnies bench. But Robertson that was kind of vicious. 32-29, St. Bonaventure. So the ball is inbounded by the Bonnies. And they're going to work it inside to Aiken. He lays it up off the glass, and it's good. 34-29. The lead is 5. The Bonnies have led by as much as 7. Oscar Robertson outside is the call. Davis to Robertson, and he hits the big jumper. He's just hitting everything foul line extended left from about 15 feet. He has 17 points here in the first half. 34-31, 5:58 to go. Bonnies don't like their setup. They'll pass it around again. Aiken works it inside. Tries to get around Wiesenhahn in the paint. Lays it up. No! West with the rebound. They'll work it into Hogue. Cincinnati. West dribbles it up. Hogue in the low post over Lanier. He fakes it. Strong move and in. It rolled around the rim and went in, and it's 34-33. 5.5 to go. Crawford inside. The shooting guard, Martin. Crawford and West gets called for a hold. It's a foul on the floor. That's 6 on Cincinnati, only 2 on the Bonnies. And with 5:15 to go, it's still 34-33. And so Aiken will inbound it for St. Bonaventure. And we're going to go inside to him. In the paint against Wiesenhahn. Little jumper, yes. 36-33. Aiken has 6. This Bonnies team is pretty complete. It's not just Bob Lanier. Cincinnati sets up the half-court offense. It's Wiesenhahn. He drives by the baseline. He's going to go in. Spins around over Aiken. Aiken flops. Wiesenhausen off the glass. No. Lanier pulls down his 4th board. Wiesenhahn won the foul call, and they told him to go pound sand. Again, Crawford, the shooting guard inside. Martin brings it up. Crawford drives in West, and Crawford smashes on West. And we have a media timeout. With 4.5 to go here in the first half, we got a good one for you. St. Bonaventure 36, Cincinnati 33. It'll be Bonnie's ball. No changes for the Bonnies. And they dare to bring back George Wilson with 2 fouls. With 4.5. Tom Thacker will spell Oscar Robertson, who leaves with 17 points. He'll be back. 36-33 St. Bonaventure. And Wilson shot it off someone's foot, and it's still Cincinnati ball. 1 second comes off the clock. Got to be careful. Wilson has 2 fouls. And he finally inbounds it to Thacker. And that's the play outside. Davis to Thacker at the baseline. Drives. Lanier cuts him off. But Thacker hits the jumper. 36-35. It's a 1-point game. Again, they're going to go Crawford inside here. And Hogue with the steal for the Bearcats. They go on a break. 3-on-2. Thacker, Wilson, and Hogue. Who's got it? Cincinnati has numbers. Wilson to Thacker, and Martin steals it back the other way. 4-on-1. Only poor West back for Cincinnati. Martin all the way. Lays it up and in. The point guard's got 4, and the lead is 3. 38-35. 3:54 to go in the first half. Davis, the point guard for Cincinnati, is going to call his own number. Outside, 18-footer, no. Rebound, Hogue. Tries to tip it in. Does he do it? Yes, he's got 6. It's a 1-point game. 38-37, first half. 3:28 to go. They're going to feed Lanier inside. And his little jumper is yes. 5 straight for Bob. He's got 10, and it's 40-37. The Bonnies are shooting 86% from the floor. Thacker outside is the call. Davis to Thacker. He floats it in over Lanier. No. Aiken with a rebound for the Bonnies. That's 9 rebounds for St. Bonaventure. Cincinnati only has 4. Tom Stith is going to try a 3. Cincy in the man. Stith from 22. No. Aiken with the rebound. Moves to the basket. Little jumper. Yes, he's got 8. And the lead again is 5. 42-37. Bonnies. 2:27 first half. Thacker from outside. Robertson's ready to come back in. Thacker jumper. No. Rebound. Tom Stith. Transition basketball for St. Bonaventure. Stith to Crawford. And he's fouled by Hogue. And so Crawford will shoot the 1-1. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. So Robertson, Wiesenhahn, and Robertson come in for Cincinnati. So Wilson and Hogue don't pick up their third foul. 17 fouls on the Bearcats. No changes for the Bonnies. And the front, Crawford only a 58% free throw shooter. Front end of the 1-1. And it's good. So it's 43-37. That matches the largest lead, or it's a 6-point lead, rather. And if Crawford hits this, this will match the largest lead of the game for St. Bonaventure. And the second one is up, and it's good. So 44-37, 2 minutes to go, first half. The Bonnies 44, the Bearcats 37. And so there's a timeout on the floor with 2 minutes to go. In the first half, this has been, what an offensive show by both teams. 44-37, St. Bonaventure. And if you're liking this, we'll tell you what we got going on next. We got a busy, busy week on Retro Sports Network, and we'll tell you all about it at the half. So Davis to Wiesenhausen doing Bound by Me. It's Davis, West, Robertson, Wiesenhausen, and Robertson for Cincinnati. Martin, Crawford, Tom Stith, Aiken, and Bob Lanier for the Bonnies. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Bonnies are in the bonus. Robertson wants a three. And it got away from him. Wiesenhausen tried the cross-court pass, and that just skipped off Robertson's hand. And that's not what they wanted. That's only the fourth turnover for Cincinnati. And so the Bonnies are going to walk it up. They're going right to left. 1:45 to go, first half. They pass it around. Aiken. From outside, he's going to drive from the baseline. Drives in and he blows the layup. Robertson with a rare rebound for Cincinnati. They only have 5. And this time they want the Big O to shoot from outside. Davis to Robertson. He drives in from the left. And Crawford blocks it. And Tom Stith pulls down his third board. And the Bonnies will slow it down. 1:10. Aiken penetrates from outside. Fred Crawford is hurt, but he says he's fine. They'll set this up again. Aiken will come in from the baseline towards the basket, and he commits the foul. He does the charge, and it's Cincinnati's ball. 1:03 to go. No changes. Under a minute. Davis from 18 feet. Long jumper. Lanier tips it. And he's got the board. 3 blocks and 5 rebounds for Bob Lanier. Bad shot. 43 seconds left. They're going to work it into Bob Lanier in the paint. Little jumper. No. Lanier gets his own rebound. Tipper from Lanier. No, over to Crawford. And Wiesenhahn with the steal. He was supposed to shoot that, but he saw Crawford open. They got too cute. Bearcats walk it up. Last shot here. They're going to go Robertson for the 3. From an NBA 3 off the side of the board. Stith has it. 7 seconds left. Inside to Crawford is the call. They will be able to do this. Inside, and he throws it away. And that's the end of the first half. After an exciting 20 minutes at Cincinnati Gardens, it's St. Bonaventure 44, Cincinnati 37. Bob Lanier with 10 points and 6 boards. The Big O, 17 points. How you doing, Al? Good to have you. All right, so you don't have to look at all the boxes there and with empty pictures. 44-37 at the half. And don't forget, let's just redo this one first. The Bonnies, 76% from the floor. They're 20 and 26. Bob Lanier, 10 points, 6 rebounds, including 2 offensive ones. Tom Stith, S-T-I-T-H, 8 points and 4 boards, 3 for 4 from the floor. Cincinnati, well, the Big O shook off an injury, 17 points, 3 for 4 from the line. He doesn't have any rebounds. In fact, no one from Cincinnati has more than 1. They're only shooting 55% from the floor. We've had 6 ties and 2 lead changes in the game. The Bonnies 10 of 12 inside, 1 of 2 outside. Let's see, the bench 12 points apiece. And let's see, anything else from there? Oh, on the drive, the Bonnies 4 of 5, and Cincinnati is 5 of 8. All right. Yeah, Lanier's kind of fun, isn't he? All right, here's what we got going on this week on Retro Sports Network. Sunday, I'm not sure what I'm doing tomorrow. Supposed to be doing cards and dice, and I'm kind of out of cards and dice things to show you. So if you have a request, I'll be happy to entertain it. I just might go through, and we got a bunch of stuff to go through. I might do my baseball intro video tomorrow, but if there's something cards and dice you want to see me do for tomorrow, put that in the chat or in the comments below. Be happy to have that. And then Monday should be a busy day. First, around noontime, we'll have the first of our NFL divisional playoffs, this time from the NFC at 12 noon. One of the last lunch football games we'll have for you. It will, well, at least for this year anyway. It will be the last lunch replay of the year because the year ends at midnight. It will be the Chicago Bears and Los Angeles Rams from Memorial Coliseum. That's what we got for you at noon. And then on our Red Sox fans channel, I'm sure we're going to have a good time New Year's Eve as Al and his buddies will walk in Happy New Year 2019. That is Monday night, Tuesday morning. Then, after the Real Life Rose Bowl, it's about 9 o'clock on New Year's night. If you haven't had enough football, you're going to get some more. It's the AFC Divisional Playoff game between the Cleveland Browns and the New England Patriots. Cleveland survived the wild card game against Kansas City. Go back and watch it. Worth the watch. The Patriots at 14-2. They're the best team in the AFC, we think. And they host Cleveland. Wednesday, the last lunch of this particular 78 replay. It will be the divisional game between Denver and Pittsburgh. The Broncos and Steelers from Three Rivers. That's Wednesday. And then Thursday will be live in prime time, January 3rd. The Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. And we'll know the NFL's Final Four from 78. And then next Saturday here on this channel, we'll have a doubleheader for you at noon, at high noon. Magic Johnson and his Michigan State Spartans make their replay debut. They haven't even played yet. They didn't play in the opening game. We'll travel to Pauley Pavilion to play the UCLA Bruins in the 1970s. It's Magic and Walton and lots of other names. And then about 45 minutes to an hour after the conclusion of the first game, and certainly before the first real-life NFL wildcard game, the second part of our Retro Sports Network basketball doubleheader, the 1980s, Duke, Carolina. Even Jay Billis will grow his hair back for that. Michael Jordan against Mike Krzyzewski. So that's what we got going up for you. A lot of football coming up for you. And I think next Sunday night, we will play, because I've got the teams, the pre-play for the 2018 College Football National Championship game from Jerry World. So whoever wins today, and then I got to spend the rest of the day actually watching those two games, because I don't watch a lot of college football, and I want to see how these teams actually play. So that's going to be next Sunday night, again, after the real-life wild card. So the next 8 days on Retro Sports Network, if you love football, we got 5 football games for you, 2 more basketball games, and who knows what on Retro Sports Network. All right? Enough of me. Let's go back to the basketball. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Al, are you doing something tonight too or no? So I can plan out how much of that god-awful Peach Bowl I get to watch. I can't believe both of today, if you're watching this live, of course, is the college football playoff. And both Alabama and Clemson are 14-point favorites, which means that I should be sound asleep by 6 o'clock tonight. So all sorts of fun. And by the way, another shout out to my buddy Al. I was kind of heartbroken that the Braves couldn't beat the Dodgers in his 78 one and done OOTP replay. But go back and watch some of that, especially the Braves-Phillies first round game. As I told him in the comment, that was one of the best what-ifs I've ever seen was that game. That was just so well played. One of those things that you think you're going to watch for 5 minutes and you look down and it's an hour later. All right. Starting 5 on the floor for the Bonnies. Martin at the point. He has 4 points and 3 assists at the half. Sam Stith is coming in with his 2 fouls. Tom Stith, 8 points, 4 rebounds. Miles Aiken, 8 points, 3 boards in 17 minutes. And Bob Lanier, 10 points and 6 boards. For the Bearcats, Davis West, Robertson with 17. George Wilson with no points. And Paul Hogue, the center, has 6 points and a rebound. Tip coming here. Hogue and Lanier jump at center court. And it is controlled by the Bonnies. And Tom Stith. And he's going to drive it in from foul line extended left. He drives in and he blows the layup, but Lanier has it right back. He's going to make the tip in, and it is good. So 46-37. Bonnies have their largest lead of the game. And that's 7 boards for Lanier. Inside to Wilson is the call. Robertson dishes it to Wilson. Inside over Martin. Off the glass. No. And Martin gets the rebound. Baseball pass in transition for the Bonnies. Stith to Aiken, who double dribbles, and they call it. So some dirty looks from the Bonnies as the Bearcats have it. 46-37. Opening minute of the second half here. And it'll be, again, they're going to try Wilson inside and eat your baskets. Robertson into Wilson inside, off the glass and good. So that kills a 4.5-minute scoring drought for the Bearcats, 46-39. Bonnie's passing around. Tom Stith is going to drive. Foul line extended right. Off the glass and in, 48-39. Not a lot of defense for Cincinnati. The Bonnies are still shooting 75.9% from the floor. Robertson is going to take an NBA 3 again. West, they pass it around. Robertson from way downtown. No. Hogue. Rare offensive rebound. The tip back is up. Off the glass. No. Wilson tips it in. So it's a 7-point game again. 48-41 Bonaventures. Aiken inside from the left. From bounce pass from Martin. Off the glass and in. He's got 10. And now St. Bonaventure has 3 scorers in double digits. Stith, that's Tom, Aiken, and Lanier, all on the scoreboard in double digits. Roland Davis is going to call his own number from the top of the circle. And instead, Lanier and Hogue tie themselves up. Hogue is trying to call time, and they don't get it. So the 2 centers will jump on the right side by the Bearcats net in the free throw circle. 50-41 St. Bonaventure by 9. No changes. 18:02 in regulation. Ball is in the air. Hogue controls it for Cincinnati. Robertson will shoot from the right wing. Oh, he nailed that all the way, and Martin fouled him. So Robertson gets 2 in the continuation. And high fives all around. 50-43. That's the first foul on Martin, the point guard. Actually, I should say that's foul line extended left, from the left wing. So Robertson, a 75% free throw shooter. And he hits it. He has 20 points. 50-44. I'll chat with Al, you think. Okay. I'll be around. So here come the Bonnies. They're going to work it inside to Bob Lanier. They lead by 6. Martin. Lanier inside over Hogue. Moves around him and hits. 14 for Lanier. 52-44. The Bonnies are in great shape. Cincinnati, I think, was favored by 16 on the computer. The betting line was 2 for the Bearcats. And the Bonnies have owned this game. So West outside on the left wing. He drives in. Aiken cuts him off. It's off the glass. No. Lanier with his 4th block. Davis with the rebound for Cincinnati. Hogue tries to find Robertson outside. Walks the baseline over to Davis. Jumper, yes. So he passed it out to Davis at the foul line, and Davis hit the jumper. That's his first bucket. 52-46 St. Bonaventure. Sam Stith outside. Martin walks it across. Stith from 15 off the glass. No. Wilson. Transition basket time for Cincinnati. Wilson. Davis to Hogue, and Lanier with a steal. Bob Lanier, a one-man wrecking crew. And the Bonnies will walk it up the court. Aiken to Martin outside. He drives over to Aiken, and Aiken shuffled his feet. That's a travel. 12 turnovers for St. Bonaventure compared to 5 for Cincinnati. 52-46 Bonnies. And let's see what the Bearcats have called. Robertson outside. Foul line extended left. Jumper, yes. 22 points for him. And it's 52-48. The Bearcats clawed it within 4. They were down by as many as 9. In this half, as a matter of fact, Aiken inside against Wilson. Jumper rolls in and around, and no. Hogue grabs the rebound, and the Bearcats will walk it up in a half-court offense. Coming to the first media timeout here in the second half. Davis. They'll pass it around. Davis. From the foul line. He should drive it. He does. Off the glass. Yes, and he's fouled by Aiken, whose second foul. So 2 on the Bonnies here in the half, and Davis gets an old-fashioned 3 attempt. And now the lead is just 2. Cincinnati has cut this lead to 2. Davis has 4 points, 3 assists, and a rebound. And he's looking for the freebie. An old-fashioned 3. You got it. 65% makes it 52-51. And the crowd is up. And we got ourselves a timeout on the floor. 15:45 in regulation. Hey, what do you know? We got ourselves a ball game. St. Bonaventure 52, Cincinnati 51. This is College Basketball Saturday on Retro Sports Network. And so Aiken will inbound it for the Bonnies. And they will go inside to Lanier. Lanier in the lane. Little jumper, you betcha. 16 for Bob, and it's 54-51 St. Bonaventure. Bearcats pass it around. Robertson. Foul line extended left. Is going to drive on the baseline. He collides with Lanier, lays it up and in, and Lanier gets called with a foul. So Oscar Robertson pulls a Larry Bird. I know how to generate offense. And so he just bowls his way through and gets the foul on Lanier. And you know what? If he hits this free throw, it's a tie game. It's 54-53. So 24 for Robertson. And he's at the line to make it 54-54. He dips the knees, it rolls off the hands, and it's no! Rebound Aiken. And he protects it like an 8th grade kid in home ec with that egg. And gives it to Martin, and the Bonnies will walk it up. 15:08 to go. It's Tom Stith from outside. From downtown, he drops it in, got it back, and he turns it over on a double dribble. They just did not look comfortable, and the Cincinnati crowd has woken up. The Bearcats can get the lead on this possession. Into Hogue is the call. In the lane, up a runner, no. Robertson yanks down his first rebound, and we send it back up. This time it's George Wilson inside. Wilson is being guarded by Aiken. Over Aiken, no, but Tom Stith commits the foul, and Cincinnati can go ahead right here in the foul line. That's his first. 4 on the Bonnies here in the second half. The Bearcats have not committed a foul. Cap digging up the sheets behind me. George Wilson, a 59.4% free throw shooter. 1 to tie, 2 for the lead. Wilson's first one, no, rolls off. And the crowd goes, ooh. Everyone remembers the egg, Al. I never had the egg. They didn't think I could do it. I've certainly eaten my fair share of eggs. No changes on the bench. Wilson's second one is up, and it's good. So we're knotted up at 54. The Bonnies were up by 9 here to start the second half, and Cincinnati has erased it all away. What you got for Indonesian food, Beatles? I don't know anything about Indonesian food. All right, so the Bonnies walk it up. They don't like what they see. They continue to pass it around. Sam Stith will try the jumper. Foul line extended right outside. He tried to... Oh, my goodness. Are you kidding? He did a step fake, and then he plowed into Randy or West and gets called for the offensive foul, and that's his third. Everything that was going right for the Bonnies the first half has all gone away. It's like they do their Cinderella shopping with the Atlanta Braves and the Kansas City Chiefs. Sometimes Payless doesn't stay open, and I wouldn't buy a glass slipper there either. He stays in the game with 3. So Davis and Robertson are the ones at my options. So Davis, from the foul line, is going to take his own number. Oh, back from Robertson. Davis drives up in the paint, off the backboard, and good. Cincinnati leads at 56-54, and you wouldn't know it, but this crowd's going nuts. They're going to go into Aiken, St. Bonaventure. Martin lobs it in. Aiken misses the jumper, but he's fouled by West. That's his second, and Aiken gets 2. Cincinnati 56, the Bonnies 54. Heartburn. Depends on how much curry, Al. So Aiken, a 61% free throw shooter. If they hit them both, we're tied up. Aiken bends the knees, off the wrists, off the rim, no good. No changes either way. 13.5 to go in regulation. So Aiken bounces the basketball, takes a deep breath, bends the knees, off the wrists, and hits the second, 56-55. Cincinnati by 1. And so again, they have 2 choices, Davis and Robertson. They're going to feed the Big O. Outside, over to Robertson. Baseline, and Stith steals it. Bonnie's on a break. Sam Stith and Big Bob Lanier on it. All the way by Stith, and Hogue steals it. Cincinnati will walk it up. 13:02 to go. 56-55 Cincy. Into Hogue is the call. What a steal that was. Roland West, I don't know what happened. If he took an elbow off the head, it certainly was inadvertent. He says he's okay. I'm not sure who he's talking to. The trainer came out. So 13:02. Going to be an inside to Wilson call. Wilson over Aiken with the move. Yes, he hit it. 58-55 Cincinnati. They lead by 3. Aiken will get the other way for the Bonnies. Martin, Aiken down low in the paint. Little jumper off the glass. No. Stith outside for a rebound. And Tom Stith is going to try to penetrate. That was a long rebound. Going to work it inside to himself. And Robertson just reached in and swiped it away. Like that was nothing. And again, the Bearcats will lock it up. West. This time to Robertson. Foul line extended left. He misplayed it out of bounds, and it's still St. John. And now it's back to St. Bonaventure. I've only called him St. John 6 or 7 times today. 12-17 left in the game. 58-55 Cincinnati. No changes yet, but we're getting there. It's almost bench time. Aiken inside is the call. Martin pick and roll. Aiken in the key and Hogue with his third steal. And so, like I said, everything the Bonnies were doing right in the first half has gone away. 17 turnovers for St. Bonaventure. Davis will walk it up for Cincinnati. They're in no hurry. And they'll pass it around. 30 on the clock. Davis from the foul line. He's going to drive it, pick and roll. Lays it off the glass and good. He's got 9 all of a sudden. Bearcats' biggest lead of the game is 5, 60-55. Again, inside to Aiken. He lays it up off the glass. No, tipped back as it battles around, and Davis comes down with it. Davis starts the fast break for Cincinnati. Outlet pass to Hogue, and Lanier reaches in and makes his second steal. They go back the other way, 2-on-2. Martin to Stiff, jumper for Sam Stiff. No, Davis. We're going back and forth. It's ping pong basketball. West with it. Rolling West lays it up, lays it in. And it's 62-55 Cincinnati. They're denying everyone inside. 2 straight passes, and now Aiken on the baseline. Jumper for Stiff. No, but he's fouled by West. That's his third. And Tom Stiff will shoot 2. 11:01 to go. And this has been, let me see if I can do, a 16-point turnaround the last 8 minutes. Let's see. Indonesian food is a nice marriage of the best of Szechuan, Thai, and India with a tropical kick. So it's curry and coconut, right? I mean, I love spicy food. What's your favorite dish, Beatles? So Tom Stith with the first to 2, and the first one won't stay down. Man, snakebit is what they are right now. No changes this time around. We're due for a TV timeout anyway. Stith, second one is coming, and he hits it. 62-56. And we got a timeout on the floor. 11:01 regulation. Cincinnati 62, St. Bonaventure 56. This is College Basketball Saturday on Retro Sports Network. And let's put some folks in. Let's put everybody in. It's not like these benches aren't equipped to score some points. So it's Mahanchek at point for St. Bonnie. Crawford is the small guard. Butler and Carter the forwards for St. Bonaventure. And McCulley the center. He has 4. For Cincinnati, Foster comes in. Dean Foster the point guard. Yates the small guard. Thacker and Weisenhahn, who had good first halves, are the forwards. And Robertson is the center. Rebounds 19-14 in favor of the Bonnies. St. Bonaventure not helping themselves from the line. They're 6 of 10. And the Bearcats' defense has been better. They have 7 steals themselves, but they haven't made any blocks. So rest for everyone as we get into the halfway stages here of the second half. And I'm going to take a drink because my voice is starting to go. And Beatles eternally says, ooh, my favorite dish of any cuisine is a blazing hot Thai green curry. What's in that? Is there meat or fish or veggies or tofu or what? That said, on St. Patrick's Day, I always follow tradition to have Kilkenny. Heavy food with Guinness, it's heaven, my lad. Oh, I should have read that. But that's said on St. Patty's Day. I always follow traditions to have cold cannon. I have no idea what that is. Heavy food, but with Guinness, it's heaven, my lad. Guinness is pretty much heaven with anything. All right. So as I find out what Thai green curry is in Kilkenny, because I'm an ignorant American, let's start this back up. It'll be Cincinnati ball. They lead by 6. 11:01 to go. Inside to Weisenhahn is the call. In a low post, and he gets a 3-second violation. That's what the Bonnies need. Cincinnati not to score for a couple minutes. Bonnie's working it right to left here in the second half. Into Crawford. Never seen a guard shoot inside so much. Mahanchek to Crawford, over to Mahanchek. They pass it around. Crawford in the paint against Yates. Running lefty, you bet. 58-62. Bearcats by 4. I read that score wrong. And Wiesenhahn inside again. Foster to Yates. They'll pass it around. Wiesenhahn inside over Butler. He's trapped, and that's a steal by Carter. That's the 6th steal for the Bonnies. And Mahanchek will walk it up the floor. They'll pass it around and see what they got. Crawford. They're going to go to Butler inside. Foul line extended left. Delivers it low. Thacker right to Butler. Jumper, yes. And Thacker commits the dumb foul. And so Thacker tried to steal. Butler had the easy jumper, and I think Thacker just got a hand up there in frustration. And so now the Bonnies, who were down by as many as by 7, can now only be down by 1. And Butler is an 80% free throw shooter. Tips the hands and the knees and hits it. And it's 62-61. I'm a vegan, Beetle certainly says. So tofu in my curry. Green curry is very hot, as it uses what we... Oh, Scotch bonnets. Ooh! Ooh! My chest hair just curled. That does sound good. That sounds very good. And there's nothing wrong with tofu. I'm not a vegan, but I do like tofu. And I suppose if you're there to burn your chest hairs off, it really wouldn't matter what you're eating. On the Schofield scale, that pepper is one of the hottest. Who knows we would have cooking tips during college basketball. So the sauce is made with coconut, Scotch bonnet, veggies, and tofu. You can get it with meat or fish, of course. Okay. I wasn't sure if there was a specific... Some things work better with other things, but tofu, you can pretty much do whatever you want with. Have we lost Al yet with that? Coconut, hot peppers, veggie. Ooh. Oh, my God. I'm just sweating thinking about it. So there you go. If you're looking to make some green hot curry, that's how you do it. So Foster will inbound it, or Cincinnati has it. 62-61. The lead is 1. Wiesenhahn inside. Down low. Little jumper. No. Butler with the rebound. And so the Bonnies can come back right back. Back and forth we go from Cincinnati Gardens. Carter inside is the call on the low block. Spins around. Excuse me. Jumper. No. Wiesenhahn makes the block, but Carter gets his own rebound. He's going to take the 10-footer outside, and Wiesenhahn fouls him. So it's a non-shooting foul. And everyone's bringing starters back in. What a job by the Bonnies bench. They turned this into a 1-point game. So starting 5 for everyone. Okay. Colcannon is an Irish version of mashed potatoes. Ooh, cutting cards? Please tell, Mr. L. But loaded with butter and leeks. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, I'd eat that. Ah, so there you go. The leftovers make for a Bonnie Weiss shepherd's pie. Aye. Yeah. So Beatles has made me hungry, and the wife is gone for several hours. And my lunch consisted of a frozen chimichanga from CVS. At least it was good. And she had some nice little spicy Ortega green taco sauce to go with it. All right. 62-61 Cincinnati. All the starters are back in. So it's Martin and Sam Stith in the Stith in the backcourt for the Bonnies. Tom Stith and Aiken in the front court with Lanier. No one in real foul trouble. Sam Stith has 3 fouls for the Bonnies. For Cincinnati, West has 3 fouls. Everyone else is in good shape. It is Bonnie's ball, and they have it, and they're going to try to find Sam Stith outside. They trail by 1, 62-61, 8:34 to go. Stith outside, floats to the basket. Robertson, no call. Stith is hit, misses the shot. Wilson will get the rebound. George Wilson, that's 5, and that leads the Bearcats. And they'll lock it up. They're hanging on to a 62-61 lead. West. Into Wilson is the call. Ralph Davis is hurt, and he'll stay in the game. So one thing I don't like about this game is the little nigging injuries that just kind of take away from the... They should be in the play-by-play better, because you shouldn't have to call another play after an injury if they're staying in. Anywho, it's the big O outside. Stith hounds him, 20 or 18-footer, yes. So 26 for Robertson, 64-61 Cincinnati. They're going to go into Aiken. The Bonnies trail by 3. Martin to Aiken down low. Yes, he hits it. Pitch and catch all the way. 4 assists for Roland Martin and 13 points for Aiken, 64-63. Again, George Wilson inside is the call. Robertson in the low post. Wilson lays it up and good. Wilson got free in the paint, and Robertson threw a strike. That's his 4th assist. And so it's 66-63 Cincinnati. Sam Stith wants the 3. He's out there by the bench, way out, almost an NBA 3. West got a piece of it for the Bearcats, and it's out of bounds, St. Bonaventure basketball. 7:18 to go. Shot clock at 29 seconds. And we get, nope, no timeout. Lanier. Bounded inbound to Lanier. In the paint. What's he going to do with it? And it's stolen by Oscar Robertson. Lanier was a bit careless with it, and Oscar just slapped it out of his hand. Here comes Cincinnati on the break. Robertson all the way down the lane, and he missed it. But Martin commits the foul. Robertson's okay. They kind of, exchange pats on the back on there as Oscar goes to the line to shoot 2. So that's the 5th on the Bonnies, and Cincinnati has 4. And from 75%, Robertson hits the first. He's got 27. 67-63, Cincy by 4. Oscar bends the knees for the second and hits it. So 68-63, Cincinnati up by 5 again. Their starters have taken over, playing well. Timeout on the floor. 7:08 regulation. Cincinnati 68, St. Bonaventure 63. Beatles, I know you're coming stateside. Where are you moving to, bud? And I should say, now that we're talking about Beatles, and I take a break for a second, that he's a big fan of 30s ball. He's playing some 1934 ball on his channel, and has done some excellent tutorials and for OOTP 19, Out of the Park Baseball 2019, about putting some pictures in and how to draft players and put them in a fictional league and all that. Initially to Pennsylvania. Well, we look forward to having you here. So the Bonnies will inbound by their bench, Aiken. And they want to work it into Bob Lanier. Martin to Lanier. Stith from the corner. Yes, that was Tom Stith, and it was foul line extended left. And so it's 68-65. It's a one-possession game again. They're going to work it to Hogue inside. Davis to Hogue. And Aiken gets its steal. The Bonnies have found some confidence again. Martin brings it up over to... There's 2 Stiths. Don't tell me which Stith. It's a Stith. And they'll pass it around. Now Lanier from outside. They don't like it. They're trying to work Aiken inside. Lanier cross court over to Aiken. Jumper no. Wilson with a block. And Oscar Robertson with a rebound. Bearcats walk it up. And again, it's going to be Robertson outside. Baseline 15-footer. He's got 30 points. And he's fouled by Martin. And so he'll go to the line for 1. He's 6 of 8 today, and it's 70-65. My pleasure. And this is all going to sound like gobbledygook to you. And this is, to be fair, a mix of rules for college basketball. So if you were to sit and actually watch a college basketball game, it's kind of a weird mix of things. So Not the same. Robertson from the line rolls around and in. He's got 31, and it's 71-65. Robertson, 31 points, 2 boards, and 4 assists. 5:46. Crunch time here in Cincinnati. Sam Stith wants a 3. And he's over Robertson. No, he's missed 5 straight, but Martin got the rebound. That's his second, and Roland Martin, the point guard, will pass it around. And now everybody's open. And they want to work it into Lanier. Lanier over everybody. In and out, no, but Hogue commits the foul. That's his third. And Lanier goes to the line for 2. Lanier, 16 points, 7 boards, and 2 assists. And Robert is a 64% free throw shooter. And the Bonnies desperately need them both. That's the 5th foul on the Bearcats. Nobody's sitting at 4 yet. Lanier with the first. Off the rim and no. Wouldn't go. Bends the knees for the second one, and it is... No, he missed them both. Rebound Robertson. Not only did St. Bonaventure not hit any of those, they couldn't even get the offensive rebound. So Robertson brings it up court to Davis. And George Wilson inside is the call. Robertson into Wilson. Turnaround jumper, no. Blocked by Aiken. And Martin, the point guard, gets the rebound. That's his third. Bonnies need to find some rhythm coming down the stretch. Stith. Over to Sam Stith. Outside is the call. Stith outside. Jumper. Yes, that's his 4th point. He was open from 16 feet. Foul line extended right and made it. Into Hogue is the call for Cincinnati. Hogue. Good look. He hits the layup. Over Lanier. Lanier doesn't want to... St. Bonaventure doesn't want to have Cincinnati score with the clock stopped. 73-67 Bearcats. Lanier inside is the call. Martin over to Aiken. He drives. Wilson cuts him off the glass. No foul and no basket. And Wilson with the rebound. Cincinnati has numbers. Outlet pass. Robertson lays it off the glass and in. He's got 33. And it's an 8-point lead. Largest lead of the game for Cincinnati. 75-67. They're going to work it to Lanier inside. Martin into Lanier. And it's knocked out of bounds, but it's still Bonnie ball. 3:34 to go. It all went wrong for the Bonaventures between the 18 and 14 minute mark here in the second half. Oh, I appreciate the kind word, Beatles. I wonder what James Naismith would think of basketball now. You know, I watched some NBA at Christmas, and I actually enjoyed it. And I always make it. I always say, I should watch more basketball. But the NBA game right now, I think, is pretty good. It's more watchable than the NFL. I think he'd be impressed with it. The game really has evolved. Aiken inbounds it for the Bonnies. And they're going to go with Sam Stith outside. Stith from 15. Yes, he's got 6. 75-69. Cincinnati. Roland West with a rare call outside. To Robertson. Jumper. No. Rebounded by Tom Stith. That's his 6th rebound. 75-69. Under 3 minutes to go. Lanier inside is the call. Stith drives himself, lays it up off the glass, and gets it to go. So Sam Stith saw that Lanier wasn't open, had the presence of mind of calling his own number, and it's 75-71. This has been a typical college basketball game of good runs. It's a question of how long can the Bonnies keep it going. Robertson outside, 2:58 to go. In the corner, he drives, he runs into Lanier. No basket. But Lanier will foul him. So Robertson does what he's supposed to do. He draws the foul. And he's already 7 of 9 from the field. Jerry Ryan says hi, by the way. And so the Big O already has 33 points on the afternoon. Dips the first one. Good. 34. 76-71. Too early to foul. That, by the way, put Cincinnati in the bonus. But this was a shooting foul. Second for Robertson. Misses. Aiken with the rebound. 2:36 to go. Cincinnati by 5. Martin dribbles it in the front court. They're going to go to Sam Stith outside again. And from 15, he draws contact. West with the 4th foul, and Stith is going to the line for 2. And so that's what the Bonnies want, a chance to score with the clock stopped. And for West, that's his 4th foul. Obviously, we'll stay in the game since we're in the clutch. So 2 free throws. The Bonnies only shooting 7 for 13 from the line. That's terrible. So 2 freebies for Sam Stith. The first rolls around and goes. It's a 4-point game. He now has 9. The second one off the fingers and good. He hit them both. A 1-possession game. 2:26 to go. 76-73. Yeah, Beatles she is. And yeah, there's a lot about the NFL, not even the political stuff or the flag stuff. It's just not very good right now. And I know that it's easy to poo-poo the NBA, but I watched a lot of that Celtics-Sixer game and the end of the Oklahoma City-Houston game. And even after I did the playoff game, I watched a few minutes of the Laker-Warrior game. There's some good stuff. Anyway, timeout on the floor. 2:26. That's going to take a drink. So it's stretch time here. I'll keep it focused to basketball. Cincinnati 76. The Bonnies 73. This is Retro Sports Network College Basketball Saturday. So Wilson will inbound it right by me. If you're just joining us, Cincinnati, well, they're at home, so they'd be in the white jerseys with the red numbers. Cincinnati in the front, no names on the back. The Bonnies are going from right to left. They're in their burgundy jerseys with white numbers, and of course, no names on the back. 2:26 left here at Cincinnati Gardens. One of those old barns with so much character and history. Off the beaten path in Cincinnati, and the home of not only the Bearcats for a long time, but the Cincinnati Royals of the NBA, which, of course, Oscar Robertson put on the basketball map. In the 1961-62 season, he averaged a triple-double. I know what's happened since then. Don't ask me to name who it was. But a triple-double, that's over 10 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists a game. And he averaged that for the season. So Wilson will inbound. Cincinnati leads by 3. And they're going to go to Robertson for a shot outside. Davis to Robertson. And it's a one-hand jumper. And it's good. And then he draws the foul on Tom Stith. How in the world did he do that? 15-footer from the baseline left. And he drew contact. And it's 78-73. He's got 36 points. 2:05 to go. And Robertson hits the free throw. He has 37, 79-73 Cincinnati. Down the stretch. Aiken inside is the call. And he's tough in the clutch from the jumper. Yes, 15 points he's got. And it's 79-75. Too early to foul. Minute 46 left. But the Bonnies will start a full court trap. They're going to work it to Hogue inside. Davis to Hogue in the low post. And he's got it. Inside, he just kind of hit that little jumper, and he's got 10, 81-75. The lead is 6. They'll walk it across. Martin now sets up the offense. A minute 24, 36 on the shot clock. Sam Stith outside is the jumper. He drives, lays it up off the glass. It's good, and he's fouled by Roland West, who's gone. That's his 5th. And so Thacker comes in. Tom Thacker, who has 4 points and 2 fouls, comes in for West. West will fall out with 4 points, a rebound, and an assist in 29 minutes. And so with a minute 19 to go in regulation, 81-77. And Stith now has 12 points. 74% free throw shooter. Bends from the knees, off the wrists, and it's a 3-point game. 81-78. Again, full court trap for the Bonnies. Thacker from behind the basket gets it to Davis. And let's see what happens. Davis on the wing, and Martin kicks it out. And again, it's Cincinnati ball. A minute 2. They don't need to foul. Both teams are in the regular bonus. 18 fouls for the Bonnies, 7 for Cincinnati. A minute 2, 28 on the shot clock. Into Hogue is the call. Inside against Stith. Moves it himself. No. Rebound Lanier. 50 seconds to go. 81-78. Bonnies with the ball. They trail by 3. Martin walks it up to Stith. And now Sam Stith is going to try one from outside. Martin, pick and roll with Aiken. Aiken attacks the rim over Robertson. No! Martin with the rebound. Martin will pass. 33. No, they're going to call timeout. Timeout called by the Bonnies. 33 seconds left. Get the call right. That's good wherewithal there by St. Bonaventure. 33 seconds left, and they have 1 timeout. They don't need a 3. A 2 will work, but they put in the steal and foul because they're going to have to start sending Cincinnati to the line here. You don't need a 3. Aiken to inbound it. Sam Stith says, I want the 3. It doesn't matter. Nope, they're going to go inside to Lanier. See if he can draw an old-fashioned one. But Robertson commits the foul with... Did I screw that up? I might have screwed that up. Somehow Robertson committed the foul. And it's a 1-0. I did. Oh, poopies. So in Oscar Robertson's excitement, he reached over to commit the foul. It should have been St. Bonaventure committing fouls, not Cincinnati. And so I goofed. So here's Martin with a 1-1. 81-78. 31 seconds left. I done goofed. The front end for Martin is good. It's a 2-point game. 81-79. And the Bonnies, who were down by as many as 8, are now down by 2. Martin, a 62% free throw shooter, hits them both. And so now it's a full court trap, and the Bonnies will... Do you foul here? They don't. They don't think Cincinnati can run out the clock. 80. Well, Cincinnati will call a timeout. 31 seconds left, and the ball will be at the side here, right by me, Wilson. So, what do we do here? What a game this is finished. Turned out to be. The Bonnies are going to do the quick steal foul thing. Even though they're down by 1, set it up. Get the ball away. Free throws don't hurt you. So Wilson to inbound by me. They'll get it inside to George Wilson. 31 seconds left. Hogue is immediately fouled by Aiken. 27 seconds left. Aiken draws his 3rd, and that's a smart foul because Hogue is only a 56% free throw shooter. 27 seconds left. Hogue's first is good. 82-80. Second one coming. Hogue bends the knees, and it's good. So 83-80, 27 seconds left. The Bonnies will hold on to it and work it. 19 seconds left. Sam Stith for three is the call. Stith from behind the arc. Shoots. No! Wilson with the rebound. Fast break, Cincinnati. They can wrap this up on the break. And Lanier grabbed Hogue, and Hogue will shoot two. So 15 seconds left, no break. But these are big ones because now if he makes either one, it's a two-possession game with 15 seconds left. And Hogue's only a 56% free throw shooter, but he just made those two. 83-80. First one's on the way. No, off the rim. There's life in the old Bonnies left. Why wouldn't you try for a three? Because technically there's time for two possessions. I had two options. These teams, there wasn't a three-point line. Right. Al explained the first one, even though the Cincinnati's 2 of 4. So this work it to someone inside, get the quick shot, and then set it up again. But he was open, and you never know when they're going to make it. So it's 6 one way, half dozen the other. Hogue has missed the first. This one's a big second one. If not, it's a three-point game. Second one is good. 15 seconds left. And so they need something quick. 9 seconds to go. Aiken. Inside. From Stith to Aiken in the paint. Short jumper. No. Rebound. Wilson, and that's going to do it. 4 seconds. They're looking for someone to grab. Cincinnati struggles. They're going to hold it. Let's see if they foul. And Martin grabs Davis, and so Davis will shoot two, and that should do it. 84, double bonus now for the Bonnies. And so that should do it. Cincinnati was taken right to the limit. In fact, they came from a 9-point deficit in the second half. So Davis will shoot two. He has 9 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds, and 1 will do it. Off the rim, he missed the first. Well, and the Bonnies call their last timeout. Davis with the second, and he makes it. And that'll do. It was a dandy here from the Gardens. Stith outside. Martin can't get it off. And that's the final score. Cincinnati 85, the Bonaventures 80. Cincinnati scored 48 points in the second half. And Oscar Robertson is our Miller Lite player of the game. 13 of 17 from the field, 2 of 4 from three-point land, 9 of 12 from the line, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 37 points. The Bonnies made that one fun. The Bonnies made that one fun. All right. So Oscar Robertson is your MVP. Basketball-wise, it's a doubleheader next week. At noon, it will be the 70s debut of Michigan State versus UCLA, Magic versus Walton, and some other players that you know, Greg Kelser, Jamal Wilkes. And then about an hour after the conclusion, so I would say probably about 2:45 next Saturday, the 80s version of Duke and Carolina. Michael Jeffrey Jordan against Duke. Looking forward to that. Yeah, the Big O was great, wasn't he? Gosh, this was fun. So thanks for being with me on this Saturday afternoon at Retro Sports Network. All right, we get to see you one more time. So that's how it goes. Cincinnati beats the Bonnies 85-80. A good close game. I kind of botched the ending there, but Cincinnati ended up winning, and that's what matters. They deserved it. And so, like I said, 70s and 80s basketball next week for you. And we'll get some double headers in. So the first game at noon and the second game probably around 2:15, 2:30 for you. Enough time for me to get arrested and set up a second stream. So, not sure what we're doing tomorrow. thank you all for watching and for your food recipes and all that. So, I'm going to get some rest in before watching some college football, because remember, next Sunday night after the real wild card games, we will pre-play the national championship game between whoever and whoever. Presented by HockeyTournaments.com, of course, because they are our massive football sponsor. All right, so I'm sure I'll see you for something tomorrow. But remember, football playoffs start at noon on Monday. Bears and Rams from Los Angeles. And, of course, all of Al's stuff he's got going on. And we'll see you for some of that, too. For Retro Sports Network, I'm Ron Jeckett. We'll talk to you the next time. Have a good Saturday.